Good, blessed, good evening, everyone. Hoping that everyone is doing well today and that you are having a blessed day. So, I just want to say happy Mental Health Month to everyone because we know we are in the month of May. So, it's all about spreading awareness on mental health, and that is what I'm going to be doing today. Actually, we have an amazing guest with us. She goes by the name Feli, Fili. Alright, I think I got your name correct. Fili. Right? So she's going to share with us some of her journey. She'll also share her perspective on mental health and a bit of her journey because she experienced seizures. So she will be educating persons and she wants to inspire people also who may be going through the same thing as her to share their story and maybe they could get some tips on how to go about what they face, just like her. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to bring on Pile here with us today.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Adina, for that beautiful introduction. Hi,
Sure.
everyone, friends, family, new friends. I really am grateful for this opportunity to share my seizure story with you and others. Adina dragged me out my comfort zone into this live so that I could help encourage and inspire others who may be facing similar challenges, to help them through because it is a rough journey indeed. So hi
Indeed.
again.
Yes. So, can you tell us a bit about yourself, some more about yourself, and then we will dive right into it. Tell the audience
Well,
about you.
about myself, well, I'm a wife, a mother, I am an erotic poet. I account I do accounting by profession and you know, basically, I'm a free-spirited person. I love to make people laugh. I I just love joy. I love to spread joy, and I'm very open. So I talk to strangers all the time. I'm always making friends whenever I'm out and about. So that's a bit about me. We can't hear you, Adina.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
go
just
ahead.
realized I muted my mic there. But yes, I was saying that was amazing. Thanks for sharing that about you with us.
Thank you.
I know you're stepping out your comfort zone here, and I really appreciate that. And so, can you tell us what does mental health mean to you?
Well, mental health to me, is like anything that really affects you as a person, your behavior and your action, the attitude, mentally. I think that a lot of people do suffer with mental health in different ways, from very small ways in terms of just little depression, little moments, to massive and manic depressions. So it's a very important thing to spread awareness about it because so many of us go through it.
Amazing. That is so true. Like mental health, it's so stigmatized. Like anytime someone having mental health challenges, it's like something wrong with them. They're considered mad and all kind of different myths and stereotypes and all those different things. So I think it's really important to educate
Yes,
others on this because it's a challenging topic, I would say. Yeah, so
definitely.
thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to ask you another
Okay.
question. So I know, but before I dive into that, what has your mental health journey been like though? Like how have you been mentally?
Well, like everyone else, we all have our ups and downs. Um, but because of my neurological condition, which is a brain tumor, I get seizures, and through that, I may experience moments of depression and anxiety. And it has been a struggle because, you don't, nobody wants to stay down. Well, at least I don't. I always strive to be happy and joyful, and it's not something you really have control of all the time. So, through prayer, support from friends and family, you know, I try to push through, because medication, sometimes the side effects of those seems to be depression at times too. So it's been very challenging, but through the grace of God, I've been getting through. So far, so good.
Indeed. Well, thanks for sharing that also. And it's so true that by the grace of God, we always get through. Because everything that we face is actually part of the journey or what God wants to happen in our life. So everything will
Definitely.
always come together in the end because He knows what's best. Yeah?
Amen.
So I know you talk a little bit about, medications and all of that, and I know today you are going to be sharing about your journey, experiencing seizures and stuff like that. So when were you diagnosed? And
Well,
tell us a bit about that.
I started experiencing seizures in 2006 after my dad passed away, and it was just very challenging, of course, dealing with that grief and the loss. And then lo and behold, I started experiencing seizures, and I did so many tests for so many years, and nobody could tell me what was causing it. So they were treating the symptoms, which is the seizures, but not telling me what the cause is. And only in 2018, late 2018, I started experiencing vertigo, which is like dizziness, with nausea. And I lost some of my hearing. I noticed I couldn't hear properly in my left ear. Like really, it was really almost gone when I tried to listen on the phone. I couldn't really hear anybody. And when I went to the ear, nose, and throat specialist, they they said, well, you really lost your hearing. So they sent me for an MRI, which would have been my second MRI because I already did one and they didn't find anything. But they focused on that side of my brain. And lo and behold, they found a tumor resting on the nerve which connects my left ear to my brain. They call it vestibular stromoma, which is the scientific name for it, but it's a benign tumor, so it's not cancerous, but it doesn't make it any less fatal, right? So that was when I was diagnosed in late 2018. They finally found the underlying cause of the seizures.
Wow, that was an interesting journey. And you went through so much and you are still here today sharing your story. That alone
Thanks be
is
to God.
inspiration. Yeah, thanks be to
Oh
God.
my gosh, I
That
get emotional.
alone. Well, emotions is a part of life, so it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay if you get emotional. At least, it's something that you went through. So,
Yes,
and
definitely.
you
And I'm
overcame.
an emotional person.
I am just
Yeah.
like you. I am just
Yes.
like you.
I'm not alone, thanks.
Yes, you are not alone. Not alone at all. But thanks for sharing your story and coming on and being so resilient after you went through so much. I appreciate
Thank you
that.
so
And
much.
I'm sure the viewers, let me see what the viewers saying. I'm sure they're inspiring you right now. Okay, so we have Nikisha Syra. She said hi. And Brittany Williams said,
Thanks.
good evening, everyone.
Hi, hi.
Kathy's Creation said, God bless you. Kathy's Creation is watching.
Thank you so
Karim
much.
Rice said, awesome. Brittany Williams said, you are wonderful, hon. And
Thank you so
Karim
much.
Rice said, we love you. We love you, Fili.
Thank you
And
so much.
Nikki, Nikki Vasquez. Hope I'm not
Yes,
pronouncing her name
Vasquez.
right. Right.
Vasquez, yeah.
She said, love you, Feli, always. Feli, and
Now crying from all the
Shakila.
love.
I guess it's tears of joy, tears of overcoming, and the
Definitely.
journey. Yeah, the journey.
All the
Um,
love have me crying now.
Nikki Vasquez. Well, I just said what she said, and Shakila Ria said, "Love you." Everyone is saying they love you. So much
Oh
love
gosh,
coming
love
to
you
you
all
right
so
now.
much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate the love.
Claire
Sorry for
also.
crying down the interview.
Let me share some of the comments here. It's okay. Just a second. I want to show the comments on them here. Right? So you see any persons
Thank
here
you.
who are saying
Yes, that's my
everything.
mommy. True story,
Hi,
Claire.
mommy. Thanks for joining us. Shakila,
Shakira. Oh gosh, thank you. Shakila is so beautiful.
Kali's creation,
Oh,
Moses.
Moses,
So
hi.
proud. So proud that you continue to share your story.
And he's a motivational speaker as well.
Awesome. Nice to see you
Yeah,
here. Maybe we should stay connected. Make sure and follow my
yes,
page and let's connect.
definitely. Well, I know you know Kareem.
Yeah. Yes, and Nikisha is my friend also.
Yes, Nikisha is a beautiful artist. So is Shakila. I'm Shakila's biggest fan, I think.
If you need counseling and support, Backer Empowering Families, you can contact us at 739-9300 on Facebook. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Brittany.
Brittany.
Yes. Okay. So I would ask you a question outside of your journey, you know.
Sure.
So do you think that there is a stigma attached to people who suffer from seizures as society? And do you think society view them differently?
Oh, definitely. When people hear seizures, it's a stigma created from since back in the day, apparently. You know, some people even think that when they see people having a seizure that they possessed. Back in the day, when they see them shaking up, they think they catch a spirit or some kind of thing. And then there's also a stigma where, you try to put a spoon in the mouth and this kind of thing. And it's because people don't understand the condition. I didn't even understand the condition, to be honest, until it happened to me. As the saying goes, you never know or really understand something until it happens to you. And when it happened to me, it's only then I started to become knowledgeable, educated on the disorder. And having a seizure disorder doesn't mean you're possessed. It means that your brain is sending off firing off signals and shuts down. It when you have a seizure, it shuts down the brain to preserve the brain from further damage. So it's actually like a blessing in disguise. Um, and during this time, you may have clamped down your jaw locks and you may have clamped down on your tongue and your lip, which I do several times, and even though people like, why don't wear a mouth guard? It's very difficult to sleep or wear a mouth guard 24/7 and also it's very unhygienic. So, if you're getting like a slight feeling that you're not, a little lightheaded, then I might put on the mouth guard. Um, but having a seizure is really something where you clamp down on your mouth, your jaw lock shut, and you would have already bitten down your tongue or whatever. So you can't really shove a spoon in your mouth because then you're gonna break your teeth and all these things too, even if you try. It's not a good thing. So when somebody gets a seizure, you just have to make sure there's nothing around to make them damage them, injure themselves, if they have already injured themselves but not injure themselves further, and just wait till they come to, because there's really nothing much that anybody can do for somebody who has a seizure. Even if you go to the hospital, they just wait for you, they medicate you and wait for you to recover and then you go home. So that's basically it.
Okay, wow. Thanks for sharing that. That was educational for me, and I'm sure for all the viewers as well, because I see people, experiencing seizure in my life a couple of times actually, and I do not really know how to go about it. As a child, when I saw something like that, I was scared. Yeah, I was scared seeing someone going through that because I didn't have any education on that. And I do see, I think I saw that actually, a person saying to put a spoon in the person's mouth or salt. Have you heard about that? Like, what does salt do to the person?
I've
And should
actually
you put
never
that
heard
in the,
about this song.
well,
I've
I
never
see
heard
that
of it.
that happens every time I see this particular person. I don't want to talk about the person's business, but I'm just saying it
Yeah.
as education. Persons say that they should use salt, and they put salt in the person's mouth when they get a decision. Say that that would help them stop. So that is something that you shouldn't do, right?
Well, I can't say if they should or shouldn't do it, because there are natural remedies. People do natural remedies. I'm not trying to, attack anybody for their beliefs, but it's not something that I have ever heard of. And I've heard of several, not several, thousands of remedies because whenever you tell people about seizures, they always try to quote unquote fix you or help you. And I've tried so many things, including the CBD oil, and it didn't work for me. I ended up really sick. Ended up worse. So
Hmm.
to each their own. The most I can say is that when someone is actually experiencing a seizure, from what my husband tells me, because I've never obviously seen myself have a seizure, um, he would try in a brief moment, like he said my body would stretch out suddenly because most of my seizures are in my sleep and he's sleeping next to me. So I would stretch out and like have a sudden stretch, and he would try to shove the blanket in my mouth to avoid me biting my tongue in quick, that brief space of time. And half the time, because of the size of my lip gets in there too,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But it's still better to bite my lip than my tongue because the tongue is inside my mouth. So it's very difficult for it to heal, and it gets infected and that kind of thing. So, that's the only thing that I can say can help from my experience.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing because I'm seeing person saying they're learning. Because the Nikisha said
Oh,
she learning a lot.
wonderful.
Said she's
Wonderful.
learning a lot. Likewise for me here. But I see this comment that I didn't acknowledge from Sarah. She said, "Hi
Hi,
everyone."
Sarah. She was my
Hi.
previous manager where I worked before in Trinidad. She's an accountant.
All right, that's why she said what she is saying here. Right. Well, thanks for joining us and supporting.
Thank you so
And
much, Sarah. I love you so
yes.
much.
And Brittany said yes, long time they did. I'm thinking that she's talking about the salt with regards to the
The salt.
salt,
Okay,
and still up to this day, there's nothing much you can do. Just make sure the person doesn't damage themselves. Yep.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on a bit. So, what is the most difficult thing for you with your condition?
Oh gosh. I would say loss of independence, can't really move around by myself very often, I do sometimes take a chance, but I have to be really, really good. I can't really, I used to be a beach bum driving myself to Maracas like almost every weekend. Can't do that again. I've never really driven to Maracas since, you know, but that has been a challenge, losing my memory, because with every seizure, it seems to take a bit of your memory, both short term and long term, because you can't choose what you forget, but it strips your memory completely in terms of different memories that you may have had. They no longer exist. And you see even people, you bounce up people and you have no idea who they are. And being a socialite and knowing a lot of people, talking to a lot of people all the time, it's hurtful to them, and they may not understand what's going on with me because they're accustomed to me remembering everything. They used to call me the elephant, never forget. And now here I am, people hugging me because I'm a hugger, and I can't remember them. I can't remember places I've lived, places I've been even when I worked with Sarah at Trinity years ago. I don't even know where Trinity's office was, and I used to go to work there all the time. I can't get there again, and it's right there in Jago Martin, close to where I live. Well, was their office was located there, and it has been very challenging for me having to deal with that, and you know, not being able to work anymore has been a very huge financial struggle. Then also, not being myself, not being able to be myself, not being able to dance for long hours, and I just can't even overexert. So it has, there's so many challenges associated with this condition, but I try my best not to dwell on it. I mean, whenever it comes up, like in this interview, it really affects me, because it's like losing a piece of yourself, a huge piece of yourself.
Wow, that must be challenging. But one thing I know that I see with you is that you are a happy person. So even though
I
that you
try to
face
be.
these challenges, you are very happy, and I see
I
you
try to.
motivating people every day. And in your bio, you said your goal is to actually share your story and inspire and encourage others, and that is what you are doing right here. Your life is actually encouragement to others. So keep it up. You are
I
doing amazing.
I try. I have a lot of love and support, as you can see from the people in this interview. You and a lot of support from friends and family, and through the grace of God, as I say, I'm very blessed.
Indeed. So why don't you share with us a bit about the open mic that you used to, carry on?
Oh,
That is something amazing. Tell us a bit about that and your poet journey.
well, as a poet, I would visit some of the open mics when I first heard about it because it's not something that used to be popular apparently. And when I first heard of it, I was like, wow, I was so blown away that this society of artists actually existed where you could just come and perform anything. And I always used to be writing poetry, from an early age. And, I'm very open with my sexuality. So with that, I was, inspired to write a lot of sexually inclined poems, sorry, with little innuendos, nothing too crass, and I always watched, there's so much talent out in this world. It would be nice to have an open mic of my own, just to do things my way in that make it free in terms of anybody could do anything, not just on a mic. If you want to dance, if you do jewelry, if you write books, whatever talent you have, you can share it. So my open mic was a little different in that aspect, that it also included dancing and other art forms, and I also wanted to have a kid open mic. So one just for children, well, not really just for them, but children could also attend. So I was actually inspired to do this. I did it for like 5 years. I had a lot of love and support again from friends and family, but it was really kind of like a one-woman show. But people were so moved to help, help me pack up, help me set up. It was really touching and really indeed a blessing. And, I got venues like Digicel IMAX, Ingrid Jara. She gifted me a venue, McDonald's, they gifted venues, and they even gifted little vouchers of Happy Meal burgers. So, the artists were able to get something. I would pass around a collection bag for the artists and divide the money. It wouldn't be much, but a little $5, and people just so happy they got something. Or a free drink, like when I had it at 63 or in Stamblin or something like that. and it was really just inspiring. People were so inspired. Some people even performed on the spot. Imagine a little 3-year-old performing with her sisters. I mean, I used to be crying in the thing. It was really such a beautiful experience until my condition, it was affecting my condition because it was a lot of work. And I was also working at the time doing accounting at the Caribbean Court of Justice. So it was it was really tough. And my mom and husband were like, Feli, you will kill yourself doing this. You need to stop. You need to put your health first. And in as much as I wanted to say, oh gosh, no, I had help from a sister and a friend Q, he was helping with the music sometimes. I was like, I understand, and I had to let it go. So it lasted 5 years pretty much. But it was a beautiful 5 years.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it was a beautiful 5 years. I wishing I was there. So you did have like kids open mic also.
Yes. And Nisi performed even. Nisi used to perform a lot too. It
Well,
was
I
it
see
was
Nisi
really just
saying here
beautiful.
that it was memories open mic was a vibe, and she also said so grateful to Feli for this opportunity.
Thank you, Nisi. I'm grateful to you as well for supporting me.
Yeah, even Kareem was saying something. He said
Yep,
gave
Kareem
many of
performed
us
as well.
opportunities, and she is an amazing writer.
Thank you so much, Kareem.
Yeah. So it sounds like a vibe. I felt like I missed out. I wish you could start back doing this in some way. Maybe that may help you. I don't know. Open mic sounds like a vibe. Yeah, it sounds really
It
amazing.
was a lot
So
of work
kudos
though.
to you. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
it could be a
Thanks
lot of
be to
work.
God. God helped me through
Yeah.
this whole thing, and family and friends really
At
helped
least
me
you
a
have
lot.
really good memories. You have good memories.
Well, I have a
Yeah.
lot of pictures and I had a lot of photographers, like Daniel Didan, Concept Atlas, and some professional photographers came and they captured memories that helped my memory, help my trainer brain remember these beautiful moments. So thank them as well.
Yeah. And it seems like you impact a lot of lives also.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad
because
they
look at
impact
how
my
much
life
people
as well.
in the chat today.
Well, I can't see how many, but I'm grateful to them all.
We had like 22 people
Oh my
watching, and
gosh.
dropped down to 90 now. And
Thank you
Shakila
so much.
said, will testify that Fili is a wicked poet. Wicked. She's stretched poet
Listen,
and a super
Shakila is so
original
great.
artist.
Shakila is so great. I love her music. I am her biggest fan. She is a beautiful artist. And you all could check out her shows there because she's having some great shows in Point Fortin.
This is another person that is watching with us today. I do not know how to pronounce her name.
I'm
Mary.
not sure. Mercy?
Maurice.
Is-
Look,
I'm not
she's on the
sure.
screen actually here.
Yes,
But
I'm
she said,
seeing it.
thanks for sharing, Philly. Can't imagine what your experiences have been like. Be encouraged. God's got you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Shakila also said, stay motivated and please know how you motivate us too.
Thank you so much, you guys. Shakila, you know I love you bad.
Sarah said, I lost a friend to seizures and she was a medical doctor. She was alone at the time, so company is a way to manage risk.
Thank you so much for that, Sarah, because it really is a risk because you don't bound to wake up from a seizure. You don't have to recover. And, that is a blessing to me to just know that I wake up, I recovered, because some people, they get a seizure and they never wake up. It's a harsh reality that I try not to dwell on. But thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, Sarah. And I'm really condolences to you and her family, or his
Yes,
family.
condolences.
Family, sorry.
Adana, this is one of my good friends here. She said
Yes,
loss of memory can be scary for some. The
yes,
anxiety is very overwhelming.
definitely. There was an experience I had where I was supposed to go to my bank in Diggle Martin in Starlight, and I sat in the car in Woodbrook, and I just cried. I had no idea how to get there. I had no idea how to get to Digo Martin in Starlight, and I lived in Digo Martin for 3 years. And I sat in the car and cried, and I called my husband and sitting in the car, and he couldn't believe. And that was when he realized how bad it was because everybody was so used to me remembering everything. So, me saying I don't remember, they couldn't believe I didn't remember. And then I joke all the time too. So, but that was really a really, really tough thing for me to deal with.
Yeah, I'm sure it must have been. But thank God that you have persons in your life who support you and care about you and they are there when you do need them,
Definitely.
that is amazing.
Thank you so gosh, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Truly is. Shakila also said you inspire me so much, Feli. Full of love, full of life.
She inspires me and she's telling me I inspire her. She's not easy.
Wendy said God has a purpose for you, Feli.
Thank you so much for all of us. Even for you being here for me is a blessing.
Yes, yes, yes.
Gosh, I cried through your whole interview.
But you did share with us a lot of valuable gems, though.
But I'm glad.
Sandra
I'm
said
glad.
it's a pleasure listening.
Because that's my second mom. Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here.
She said she admires your strength and positivity.
I admire hers as well. Love you, moms.
Adana said having patience with those affected helps a lot.
Definitely. Because if I didn't have the patience and support, people would get really frustrated with me not remembering things. Even friends that I bounce up, and they understand my condition when they want to visit me and I'm not coherent enough to welcome them, when their understanding and patience with me has helped me a lot as well. So it helped me not to feel guilty and frustrated, you know? So that is really true.
Yeah. And Maricia said, my dear friend, blessings to you always, much love.
Love to you too. She's a friend of the wife of an old schoolmate of mine.
Nice. Karim said, God bless your support system.
God bless you all.
Yes. So I actually love how the interview is going, and kudos to you, and keep on doing what you are doing. So I want to ask you our next question. It's kind of pertaining to mental health and everything. Do
Sure.
you think that society needs education on mental health and these type of illnesses?
Definitely, definitely. As I was saying before, even for me personally, I was not very educated on it until it happened to me. And a lot of times it's unfortunate that as human beings, as people, we can't really appreciate things or we really don't care to appreciate things until it happens to us. Even sometimes when it happens to people close to us, we still can't really truly understand or appreciate it or care for it. We even distance ourselves from it or distance ourselves from them. And then this is the time they need that support and understanding the most for us to delve into try and understand what they're really going through. And there's so much information out there. We live in an information age. And we have to love our friends and our family, our peeps enough to try and get information to help them and give them the support they need because without it, I can tell you, so many of us would really not be here today if we don't get if I didn't have that love and support and people like you all here trying to understand and appreciate my condition to love me more and other people trying to share this interview and share this information with others to help them share my experience or live through my experience as well. So, it is important that we in this interview, and everybody else share information about mental health as much as possible to help each other, to help each other to to survive life. Because especially in this after this pandemic or during this pandemic, which is still going on, a lot of people have been suffering with depression, even children, little children, teenagers, and adults, far more children, you know. And we need to educate ourselves in order to help them, to help keep them laughing and help motivate them and give them the support they need to get through the challenge called life.
Truly, you preached there. You was preaching there. That was so amazing. Yeah, it's true. Education is key. And even Marcus Garvey said that, I can't remember the quote in particular, but he spoke on education. Even King Selassie, he also spoke on education. And so many other amazing people, they spoke on, being educated. So why don't we educate ourselves, especially
Yes,
on things that is very important to the life journey? Because without mental health, there is no wealth. You can't do nothing if you are not well overall, your overall well being, and that starts with mental health. And it's just
definitely.
like physical health. So I don't know why people like look at it in this type of way, and there's so much stigma attached. So it's really important for us to educate ourselves. And since it's mental health month, I really inspire everyone to share about their own mental health journey, or if you know something about mental health, feel free to share it. Simple things as encouraging kind language, asking someone how they are doing mentally, and some of those different things. I had a few different mental health tips running across the screen, so let us educate ourselves and those around us, right?
Well said, as much as possible. Because I even have a relationship group on Facebook. It's called Real Asianship. And it's really meant to create a forum where we can all share our experiences in life to help us build relationship, not just partnership relationship, but friendship, or even just getting to the point where we just being kind to each other and sharing our experiences and perspectives in order to help people realize, look, we need to love ourselves and love each other.
Truly, yes, and we live in this era where we have all these social media platforms, and persons always share their business on social media and everything social media. So we need to leverage social media, like all
Yes,
the applications like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and these are great platforms for us to share and spread awareness on mental health and
definitely,
educate. Very easy,
definitely,
yeah. So we need to use it, right?
definitely.
So, what else do I need to ask you? So, what do you want persons to know about the condition that you have? Like, what do you want to share to inspire persons or even tips?
Well, with my condition, the tumor causes, as I said before, causes seizures and, well, a number of other things. It does trigger depression and it does affect my mental health. But, at the same time, I believe that positivity, keeping positive, despite the challenges, just keep trying, fighting to stay positive is a fight. But even if you have to watch comedies, do things to make you laugh or smile, because some people are like, but she have seizures, but she always going out. She always because I have to do things to keep my spirits up, be around people who make me laugh, or in do anything that is relaxing to me, like the beach and these things, because it's what helps keep my spirits up and keep me from succumbing to the depression associated with my condition. and even going out doesn't always be easy. Sometimes I want to pass out, sometimes I have to leave, you know, but I try to pace myself. But it's a moment when I'm happy and laughing. And all that is it serotonin is the drug, joy drug, all that joy juice, it counteracts my condition. And my condition, specifically my seizures, they happen mostly during my sleep because I'm able to manage my stress, which is also a trigger, and stress is everywhere. I am usually able to manage my stress while I'm awake and try not to do things that like overexert myself or bend down to pick up something and get up really quickly, that kind of thing. I try my best to manage the stress so that I don't get a seizure while awake. But while I'm asleep, I really can't control where my mind goes, and usually dreams drive me to and trigger a seizure and would usually trigger a seizure. So, and in my condition as well, and in seizures, you could have a seizure and look normal. Like after a seizure, I could look normal, but my brain is not processing information properly. I am looking normal, but I am just blank. I can't process anything anybody is saying. So it's not even going in my brain. And people don't understand that because they'll be like, "You're looking normal, you're looking good." And I'm like, I'm just like in La La Land in my head, or even if I do engage them, it's like an autopilot. So like if somebody's talking to me, I may just be talking and I can't even remember talking to the person afterward. So and you can have a seizure and just be in a blank stare, like you just sitting there and you just gone. You're not your eyes open. You don't always have to beat up to have a seizure, you know. Some people beat up with the eyes open and they know they're seeing themselves have a seizure. I've had that experience once while I was in the hospital. And imagine even the nurses were like, she's not having a seizure, her eyes open, and like she's seeing, and they're not aware that there are different types of seizures, even nurses, you understand? So again, this comes back to why what you're doing with this show is really beautiful. And I'm glad that you dragged me out of my comfort zone because it's really educational. And I hope that I really help others and even people who not having seizures or medical condition enjoy life, juice the good days, really just try to live life, try to be as happy as you can be because life is tough, it's stressful, and you meet all kind of people, and it have real wicked people out there. I've had my share. And as I tell them, if Jesus in all his innocence could have been treated so badly, who am I? They lied on him, they crucified him. Who am I? We all experience stress and people doing us all kind of things, but we have to push through. We have to laugh. We have to live and love. Not forget love.
Definitely, because God is love, so we have to
Amen.
love.
Well, I
Yes,
have on a love
definitely.
t-shirt in case it's not seeing it.
Awesome, right?
It's all
Love
about
is in
love.
the house. Yes. Let me just echo these comments. Adana said, teaching proper intervention skills and advocating for more empathy and support can alleviate the hard questions and avoidance of such an misunderstood illnesses. Truly, I actually made
Truly,
a post about that today. Yeah. A lot of these mental disorders are so misunderstood.
definitely.
Kareem said that group is very insightful.
Or the relationship group he's probably talking about.
Yeah. Kathy's creation said, listening to your story make me stronger. When I see you crying, tears started running down my cheeks. I love you, Feli, Renwick, Brisbrook. Be still and know that Jesus Christ is Lord in your life. All will be well. All will be well with you. My love, keep the faith.
Thank you so much, Auntie Kathy. That's actually my first boyfriend of 8 years. My ex, he's my ex now, but that's his sister. And she makes amazing cakes. So you all check that out, huh? Thank you.
Check her
Love you,
out.
Aunt
We are
Kathy.
supporting here. Support her. Get your cakes. And Sierra said, we are so accustomed to someone looking sick that when mental stress occurs and the person looks well, we can't relate or accept it.
Exactly. So true. And that is what makes it really hard, having a condition.
Yeah, true. Wendy Ann Morton said, let's support the cause, share, care, and create new experiences to assist each other.
Amen to that.
Yes, Wendy, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you.
Oh gosh,
Aaron
hi,
said, hugs
Aaron.
to you.
That's my husband's good friend. And mine too.
Good
Thanks,
vibes. All
Aaron.
your
Love you.
friends are here supporting you. You have good friends. I am telling you, because they
I
supported
told you,
you.
I keep saying that.
I have this live right through, and very few of my friends come on here and listen to the great inspiration that I be sharing. So you have good
I
friends. They are supporting you.
definitely, I love you all for it. Even my husband's friends that are stole.
Sarah said platforms like this play a vital role to help normalize mental illness for people. It encourages open discussions in society. Truly, and that's why I'm
Definitely.
glad that I'm doing this here so that people will feel free to share, and it's like an open conversation for you. Just share
Definitely.
and educate and inspire.
Definitely. And we'll have the video saved so I can share it with you all and you all can share it as well. Even though I cried on
Definitely.
half of it.
They will understand and they will be inspired even more.
Casey
Yeah.
Benimage, she was the first place we had the open mic open up. She was the one who, when I came to perform, I think it was at Songshine, Jillian Moore Songshine, she was like, I was telling her about the idea, and she was like, Feli, have it here. And that was it. That was the beginning of it there. Thank you, Casey.
Yes. And she said, only love to you. Hope you go through these challenges and how you go through these challenges and still have love and time for everyone is humbling.
Oh gosh, Casey, you always have love for me too, so don't even try that.
Grateful that you are helping to break the stigma.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you for all your love and support and for all your knowledge and accounting as well.
Adana said, I admire how Fili can laugh, blush, and cry at the same time. Can tell she is a sweetheart.
I know. Thank you, Adana. No, I'm going to cry. I laugh and I'm not crying. Not how you make me laugh. I know it's emotional. You make my heart good there.
Candace said, yay, Fili.
Oh my God. Hi, Candace. She's a co-worker of mine where I worked at CCG. Oh my
You
God.
are
She is
strong
such a
beyond
darling.
measure, chick. She said you are
Uh,
strong beyond measure.
Oh God, you helped me get some strength to it, so don't try that.
Levi Star is here
Oh,
too.
hi, Levi. I'm one of my besties, man. Love, love, love to you, Levi.
Good vibes. Good vibes. Really good vibes here today. Okay. We are actually coming to the end of this live. The only thing I didn't ask you is how did, the seizure that you started experiencing altered the course of your life, and if it was difficult for you transitioning and, getting accustomed with this.
Well, it drastically altered the course of my life. As I said before, it affected my independence. I was a very independent person. I used to go a lot of places by myself, even to the clubs, even to the beach, and I could no longer really do that. And the transition was very challenging because it affected my performance even at work. I used to do like a lot of different things and it slowed me down a lot. It stopped me from even going to work as often as I used to because before I never really used to miss work and then all of a sudden it started to get worse and worse, especially triggered by the stress. of the working environment that we all, face. Um, having a child, being pregnant while having, seizures. Oh my God, I felt it so much for my unborn son because I had to be medicated. I had seizures while pregnant, and even that, the risk of landing on my stomach, I did experience a scare with hemorrhaging after a seizure falling, and I wanted a lot of children. And after that experience, I said, no, I can't put another child through this. I could only have one. And I was grateful that he came out perfect in every way. To the grace of God, it was really a blessing. And even now, living with seizures, it sometimes I have to remind myself, look, you can't do this. You have to stop yourself from being you sometimes. You want to do so much. I wanted to exercise. I used to be fit. I wasn't always fat. And I couldn't even go on the treadmill on cool down without starting to black out, which would, be a sign that, look, if I continue, I might get a seizure. So the transition was really painful. It was, you know, making more mistakes in work. I hardly used to make mistakes, and I started making all these mistakes. And I was like, who is this person? You know, I and I had to come to terms with it and let it go. And as I said before, it's through the love and support of family and friends, not being in a financial position to give the way I did before, not even being able to support my family the way I did before, having to learn to receive help. It was really hard for me, really, really still hard, accepting help even from my own mother. You know, she would have to hide and put money in the house just to, for me to accept it because I'm not very good at accepting help, as a lot of them would know. Candace and all could attest to that. I've got to get buff for it, but I'm trying to understand that it's not that I am taking help because, like taking advantage of anybody, but I really need it. And this condition is not my fault. And, and I'm grateful for it. I don't want anybody to ever feel that I'm not grateful for the help, but I am just so not used to it. I prefer to give, and I'm not in a position to be able to give as I once did. But in my own way, any way I can, I still try. And I'm so grateful for all the love. And this transition with these seizures, I say sometimes it's probably a blessing in disguise. Blessings and challenges is my mantra because had I not gotten these seizures, and I probably would have continued to overexerting myself, I may not be here today. So if I want, can look at it in that way, I mightn't have gotten all this love. I mightn't have gotten all this support. I mightn't have met the people that I did meet. I might not have been able to inspire others who had seizures or help them understand the condition. So I am so grateful for that as well.
Thank you so much for sharing that also and coming on and sharing so much of you and educating the audience. I know they appreciate it because I appreciate you coming on here and amplifying me and helping me to reach more persons and educate and inspire like I do because that is what you are doing here right now.
Thank
So I
you.
can't I can't thank you. I can't thank you enough.
Well, you
Yeah,
don't
so
need to. I should be thanking you. So thank you so much.
no problem, no problem. It's my pleasure. This is what I do. So, yeah, I had a great time here sharing with
Thank you
you.
so much.
We actually coming to the end of the live because I don't have any more questions to ask you. But one thing I will ask though is, do you have any thoughts on epilepsy? And that is a different type of seizure for those who don't know. And I actually know persons who have that condition as well. So I don't know if you could share any about epilepsy if you do have
Um,
any.
Definitely. Epilepsy is having seizures, but on a more regular basis. I mean, you can have like two seizures within 24 hours. and have it on a regular, like everyday kind of thing. I'm not epileptic because my seizures are very sporadic and they happen one off. They happened more frequently when I was working, because of the stress in the working environment that we all face. But not so much now that I am no longer employed, I'm not in that environment, but I still do get it. I still do get seizures, but more in my sleep. And epilepsy now, people suffering, or I don't like to say suffering, but people having to cope with epilepsy is so challenging because they experiencing seizures so often that it affects their brains and their whole lifestyle so much worse than what I'm going through. And as the saying goes, when you think you have it bad, it always have somebody worse than you. And epileptics really have a huge challenge having to, avoid ex, you know, experiencing seizures sometimes even when they go out in public places. So, they some of them have to be on medication, medicated right through, and the epileptic medication, it keeps you sedated. I was on similar medication. It's similar medication to what I was on with the seizures. And I came off of it because the medication that they give epileptics and people like me, it has you sedated. Like, Prozac is one of the medications, Xanax and these things, and your brain's so shut down that you can't, you just like a zombie. You're just in zombie mode. And who can live like that? You know, that is no way to live. You're not yourself. Your brain is like basically dead. And then you experience things, side effects like hallucinations. I remember having, and this is what epileptics also experience. I had a hallucination. I had a whole conversation with somebody on the phone. I came to my senses. When I came to my senses, I was like, but I didn't talk to this person. And these are the kind of things you experience being an epileptic and being on medication for life practically. So that's why I came off the medication in order to try and have a normal life, even though it is risky, yes. Um, but it's better because I can still be me to some extent.
Hmm. That's interesting. That's interesting
If I
for
if I could
persons to
share
know.
if I could share one thing that I forgot, Adina,
Sure.
some people may wonder about surgery and why it is I didn't have surgery to remove the seizure. I did extensive research, not just locally, but abroad. I sent all my x-rays, my MRIs, and all the reports abroad to um, a a medical hospital that deals specifically with tumors, brain tumors, and the risks outweighed the benefits of the surgery in that they assured me I would definitely lose all my hearing because I have like probably about 10% hearing in my left ear. I'll lose all completely. And the risk of brain damage was so high that they said I might have to learn to talk again, walk again, all these things. And you're not sure you could. They're not sure. That was just basically some of the cautions that they give, the risks that they give. And of course, let's not even talk about the amount of money it would cost. And I made the decision that, look, this really, I wouldn't like to put my family through that kind of challenge as well. And I wouldn't be home. I would be in another country and all these things. And I said, you know what? The risks outweigh the benefits to me. And it was a decision that I made with my family support, not not to pursue the surgery.
Yeah, that the risk definitely outweighed, but
Mhm.
at least you made the decision, and you are coping, you are inspiring, you are being resilient. So God is good,
Trying
and He
all
always
the
leads the
time,
way. Yeah, He always leads
all
the
the
way, and He
time,
know what's best. Yeah.
all the time.
Yes, so thanks for sharing a lot. And I'll just check out the comments before we close off. Yeah, you already shared so much inspiration. I don't think it's necessary to ask you um any words of advice, but I would ask your closing words after we check out these
No problem. And
comments.
thank you all my father-in-law, Keith. Thank you all
He
for all
said
the
you're
love and support.
phenomenal. Stay
Thank you.
strong, love.
Thanks, Fox. You too.
Levi said one of the sweetest person in the world.
Levi, don't go and make me cry again. You know what Adana already make me.
Nikisha said your strength is beyond admirable. True.
Thank you so much, Nikisha. Thank you.
Sarah said acceptance and adaptability to your new reality is key to survival. It changes us.
Definitely.
And Phile, you handle the struggles like a boss. Adanga, much love and thanks for shining the light on Phile and these issues. Accept with grace and peace. Thank you, and yes, I accept with grace and peace.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Love you so much. Oh my gosh. You can't believe how honored I am to have you in this life. Oh my God. A real mentor in accounting. That is my true mentor in accounting.
Good vibes to see her on here today. Reed Candace said this was nice insight into your struggle. Truly.
Thank you so much, Candace. Love you so much.
Thanks for sharing, she said. Proud of you, Chile. Sylvia. Sylvia.
Sylvia, I worked with her at CUNA. She's my darling, darling friend. Love you, Sylv.
Awesome. Great job, Adina. You are a real patriot and helping your fellow citizens. Truly, that is my goal. I'm reaching my goal. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Definitely.
This is relatable, Karim Rice said. Reed Candace said a support mechanism is important.
Yes, and Candace worked with me when I experienced a couple seizures while Candace was working with me in the office. I had like two seizures, different occasions in the office, and it was really, really a reality check, I think, for some of them because a lot of the times my seizures happened while I was asleep. So, you know, until people witness it themselves, it's like it's really hard to believe that you're getting seizures, especially with my personality coming to work and laughing and, you know, and it wasn't until, I actually experienced seizures in the office, I think that it became a reality to some. And thanks for that
Yeah,
support, Candice.
definitely. There's a Facebook user without name, but thanks for the support. He said greetings, or she or he said greetings at work, just joined. Thanks for joining us, even though we don't know you. And Adana said, take care and nice to meet you, Phile. Great, amazing work, Adana. Thank you, Adana, for joining us.
Thank you, Adana, and thanks for making me out too.
Keep up the great work, Phile. And Adana and Ataki Sandy, we love you. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you so much.
Wow, this person is from New York City. I don't know this person. He said, continue your work at Diana and Ataki Sandy. Respect from New York City. The
Love, love,
Facebook
Missy. One of
user.
your friends who tuning in, you see? You talk too
Yeah.
soon.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Love you too, Candace said. Much love to you, Phile. Keep the faith. You are a strong woman. That was Wendy, and
Thank
that
you,
was the last
Wendy.
comment. Thanks everyone for joining us today. It was an amazing life. We are glad that we could inspire you and educate you and encourage you to also educate others on mental health and take care of your mental health as well because your mental health is a priority. So, all the best to everyone. Enjoy the rest of the mental health month and be sure to try and educate at least one person. Amorina said, God bless. Love. Yes,
Yes.
God bless always.
And thank you so much, Adina, again, for this opportunity to share and to even feel so much love and support again. It will definitely fuel me for future seizures and struggles, and I want to thank you so much. You're doing a beautiful thing. You're a beautiful person, and I hope everybody sees how beautiful you are and continue to look forward to your motivational shows, your other lives. So you all could check out Dinah's motivational lives on her page. She has a specific events and business page. So check it out. She has much more motivational topics to touch on. So thank you so much again, and thank you all for your love and support.
Thank you a lot for those great words. I appreciate it, and I'm humble with it. You know, yeah. So I appreciate it, and I will continue motivating and pushing others because it's my goal to help people reach the best version of themselves, and help them find purpose and inspire them out of dark times. Yeah.
You're
So
doing a
today
great
was
job.
great. Yeah. Thanks. So peace and blessings to everyone. I hope that everyone have a blessed night and that you enjoy the rest of your week. Stay
You
tuned for
too,
more.
Adina. Thank you. God
Yes, you
bless.
too.
God bless everyone.
You are most welcome. Peace out. And
All
thank
right.
God again for making today possible. Blessings be to
Thank you,
Him.
God. Yeah. Thanks be to God always.
Yes. Blessings.
Blessings.